the bull and bear, and I'm not talking about sports teams, I'm talking about the stock market. The stock market was created in 1792 when the New York Stock Exchange acquired its first traded security. A stock is a share in the ownership of a company. Coming from a professional on the topic, the stock market is a very unpredictable place. Stock represents a claim on the company's assets and earnings. As you acquire more stock, your ownership stake in the company becomes greater. Whether you say shares, equity, or stocks, it all means the same thing. Now let me talk to you on what I mean by the bull and bear. The bull and bear are two different types of markets. A bear market is what investors do not want. It's a general decline in the stock market over a period of time. What happens is, investors' high optimism turns into widespread investor fear and pessimism. However, a bull market is what investors love to see. It's the opposite of a bear market. Prices start to steadily rise. The bull market is usually started with widespread pessimism. That may sound wrong to you, but it's not. The point of this is when the investors are most bearish, hence the bear market, the bearish feeling then changes to hope and optimism. If you are new to the stock market and want to buy stocks, I recommend going to a stockbroker to help you out. Although you need a stockbroker to place your trades, not all stockbrokers are going to help you and advise you. There are essentially four types of stockbrokers out there to help you. There are online discount brokers with assistance, full service brokers, and money managers. Online and discount brokers are just the cheap and simple options to just take your orders. With these brokers, there's no office visit and no certified financial advisor to help you out. They're just there to place your orders. The next type is the discount brokers with assistance. They are basically the same as the previous brokers. The only difference is these brokers are going to slightly help you out. These brokers will give you a slight overview about the stocks with some helpful information and resources to help you with investing. The full service brokers are the traditional stockbrokers who take the time to sit down with you and get to know you personally and financially. They take time and look into your life at such things like marital status, lifestyle, personality, risk tolerance, age, income, assets, debts, and even more. I personally recommend that these brokers will help you the most. They work with you to develop a financial plan that will help you achieve your goals and get you to where you want to go. The last type of broker is a money manager. A money manager is almost like a financial advisor, but a money manager may have total control over a client's money. Money managers usually handle very large amounts of money. As you probably know, since they handle large amounts of money, that means they charge a lot of money for their services. Money managers are usually for those with above average incomes and will throw a pile of money away. You can purchase stocks of any company you want if they put their company on the stock exchange. A company can put themselves on the market with a process called underwriting. Underwriting is when an investment bank goes out and attempts to get investors to purchase the securities, stock, of your company. It is through the underwriting procedure that a company goes from being private to being publicly traded on one of those stock markets. There are thousands of different stock exchanges around the world. Some major stock exchanges include Shanghai Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange, Tokyo Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, and most notably the New York Stock Exchange. The New York Stock Exchange is the largest in the world. Based out of New York, the market capitalizations are worth nearly $14.5 billion. And the trade value is worth a little bit over $20 billion. The largest stock market in Canada is the Toronto stock market. Founded in 1861, the TSX is the third largest in North America and seventh largest in the world. I'm now going to talk to you about the largest ever stock market crash. It started in October 1929. Known as Black Tuesday or the Wall Street crash, the most devastating stock market crash in the history of the United States happened. It triggered the start of the Great Depression. Following the end of World War I and throughout the decade of the 1920s, many rural Americans moved to bigger cities to find a better life for them and their families with the expansion of the industrial sector. In early 1929, despite rumors of a crash, the market kept rising to investors. They decided they would keep spending. In March 1929, a mini crash occurred. However, 2 days later, Charles E. Mitchell announced his company, then the National City Bank, would provide $25 million in credit to stop the market slide. This temporarily stopped the financial crisis. However, the American economy showed terrible signs of decline, such as steel production declined, construction was sluggish, automobile sales went down, and consumers were building up very high debts. Before the crash, the stock market was on a 9-year run that saw the Dow Jones go up annually each year, and saw economicist Irvin Fisher famously proclaim, "Stock prices have reached what looks like a permanently high plateau." Prices started to fall fast on September 18, 1929. On September 20th, the London Stock Exchange officially crashed when the top British investor, Clarence Hawtrey, and many of his associates were jailed for fraud and forgery. The London crash ended all optimism for Americans, and it went downhill from there. On October 24th, otherwise known as Black Thursday, the market lost 11% of its value at the opening bell on very heavy trading. The huge volume meant that the report of prices on the ticker tape in brokerage offices around the nation was hours late. So investors had no idea what most stocks were actually trading for at the moment, which was increasing their panic. On October 28th, known as Black Monday, the Dow Jones went down 38.33 points, or 13%. The next day, Black Tuesday, about 16 million shares traded as the panic selling reached its high. Over those 2 days, the market lost over $30 billion. I'd like to thank you for being here today and giving me the opportunity to speak.